Where do things stand right now? Let's bring in two of the best in the business at this topic that can read between the or up and down the lines. Here now is Gordon Chang, senior fellow at the Gatestone Institute and author of The Great U.S.-China Tech War. And Stephen Mosher is here, president of the Population Research Institute and author of Bully of Asia. Gordon, let's start with you. Statements aside, there was a lot at stake today. What was the goal for President Biden, and do you think he got there?
President Biden wanted to clarify China's role because there have been a lot of statements from Chinese officials and from propaganda outlets. And I actually don't think that he did that, because what he got in return really were statements of generality from Xi Jinping. We picked that from the Xinhua release, but also some ambiguous statements like China didn't want to see the result in the Ukraine war, which probably meant something along the lines of, we're very sad to see Vladimir Putin being beaten up by the Ukrainians. So I don't think that the Chinese were terribly impressed with the warnings. And indeed, we're going to have to impose sanctions on China if we want to move the Chinese in the right direction. And Biden has not been willing to do that yet.
Steve, that's one thing that China does not want. They don't want the secondary sanctions. They're not really loving the fact that they'll be best friends with the pariah of the world at this moment. It's not in their best interests to make it so apparent, it seems, to be best buddies with Russia and do whatever they ask, correct?
Well, correct, but remember that China encouraged Putin's invasion of Ukraine, hoping to embroil the U.S. in the conflict. I think he's been taken aback by the robustness of the response by the Ukrainian people and also by the response of the world, Brian, because, look, Australia and Japan in his neighborhood, Xi's neighborhood, are joining in to sanction China. So their Russian bet isn't looking so smart now. And pay attention to the fact that the ambassador to Ukraine from China, Ambassador Fan, said, in this situation, he told the Ukrainian people, we will act responsibly, seeing how great the unity of the Ukrainian people is, and that means its strength. So I think that he's saying that China is seeing that it's not a walk in the park for Putin. If Putin had seized Kyiv in a couple of weeks, installed a puppet regime, and the world had yawned saying, well, that was historically Russian territory anyway, let's just look away, it would be one thing. But that's not how it's working out. So might Xi betray Putin? Might he retreat from the agreements they just signed? Of course, but not because Biden asked him to today or any other day. They would retreat because Putin is looking more like a loser every day. Just as Russia, of course, is no longer a superpower. It's looking less and less like a superpower every day.
And Gordon, you're always good at, you see the numbers, but then you see the story behind the numbers. I see a GDP that's growing very slow for them. It's about 5. I see the Omicron virus hitting them hard and hurting their economy again, and their people, obviously. I also see something else. I see all the nationalizing of industries, their putting down of entrepreneurship and the degree of free enterprising really affecting their growth in their economy. Do you think they really need sanctions at this time, especially with President Xi up for his another 5-year term?
Yeah, sanctions at this time would make China extremely vulnerable. You know, they claimed 8.1% gross domestic product growth last year. But even by their own numbers, they show that their economy is slowing fast because they only claimed 4.0% growth in the fourth quarter. And you know, Brian, those numbers are exaggerated. They've got a debt crisis they can't get past. Omicron, as you pointed out, is shutting down large portions of the Chinese economy, including Shenzhen in the south, which is critical for the tech sector. And their markets have really gone into retreat. And they would have stayed at the bottom had it not been for a government announcement a couple days ago. So now China is where we want it. And the question is whether Biden has the will to push China by imposing those sanctions. I don't think that he has, because he doesn't really want to do that.
Steve, final thought. The president is using the same approach with Build Back Better as he's doing with China, but the stakes are much higher. He could not convince Joe Manchin to do what he asked, and they're in the same party. Can he convince President Xi to not give arms, to not give weapons, to not buy the oil of Russia?
No, I mean, China, look, is bound on its own trajectory through time. They will operate always and evermore in the interest of the Chinese Communist Party, their own interest, and lastly, perhaps in the interest of the Chinese people. That is, of course, last. I wish that we had a government that was capable of acting in the interest of the American people in this situation and in all situations. And sadly, we don't. I mean, look, we have a president in the White House whose family has taken money from Ukraine, Russia, and China, all of the major players. I think he's fatally compromised.
Well, my hope is that China understands that they're a fading power in Russia, and it's to their advantage to deal with a newly reunited Europe. And that's probably the best we can hope for. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.